I'm getting ready to pressure test my supply water plumbing system, and to do that you need to create an adapter with a pressure gauge so you can connect an air compressor to your plumbing. The whole plumbing system is connected together, so you only need one input point, and you get it up to, well, my system is going to fluctuate between 30 and 50 psi. The pressure switch on my water filtration on my pump that is going to pressurize my pressure tank is a 30-50 pressure switch. So when it gets up to when the pressure in the system gets down to 30 psi, it kicks the pump on, and then it takes it up to 50 psi, and then it stops. So I guess I'm just gonna test to like 60 psi with my compressor, and see if there's any leaks. And I'll show you how to check for that later. So local plumbing supply, Phoenix Mechanical here in Taos, they were so nice to like lend me the gauge and the fittings to do this. So they gave me this. This is a 3/4 inch fitting right here, and it's got a gauge on it, pressure gauge, and this is essentially like a bike pump, or like a tire nipple, or whatever you call it here. So I can just take my compressor and fill it up like I would a tire, like a car tire. Right now there is a gas gauge on here. It goes up to 15 psi. I'm going to take that off and then put on this this air pressure gauge that goes up to 100 psi. So I'm just going to unscrew this. Okay. I have some Teflon tape here. You want that. Teflon tape helps seal the threads so there's no leaks. Get rid of some of this excess stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap this. This is just like standard plumbing stuff here. Just going to wrap this around the threads of my pressure gauge. Okay, that's wrapped around now. And I'm just going to screw this back in to the fitting. Take a wrench. Just using a crescent wrench to tighten this. Okay. So there we go. Now we have our air pressure gauge on the fitting. Next thing we need to do, since my plumbing system is PEX and the supply line is 3/4 inch PEX, I have a 3/4 inch PEX to 3/4 inch male threaded, and the male threaded is what's going to screw into the back of this fitting here. So I'm going to Teflon tape threads on the male fitting. I'm going to screw this into the back of the fitting here. Use my crescent wrench again. Tighten this. Wow, this crescent wrench isn't big enough. Get a bigger one. Okay, so here is my fitting now, ready to go into my 3/4 inch PEX supply line. Let's check it out. Okay, so here is our supply line. It's going to supply all of the cold water to the plumbing system. Okay, so here is our supply line. It's going to supply all of the cold water to the plumbing system, and we're going to do the hot water afterwards. Test those fittings. So I just have a piece of tape, duct tape on here, so that no dirt got in here over the winter while I was gone. And here's our 3/4 inch PEX pipe. First thing we need to do is take our 3/4 inch crimp ring, slide it over the pipe. Then we take our fitting, slide that onto the pipe, like so. Then we take our crimp ring, and pull it back over the fitting, about centered on the fitting. You can see it through the pipe. And we take our 3/4 inch PEX crimper and slide that over the crimp ring. Get it on there centered. And then we crimp. Okay. Okay, now that our fitting is connected to the pipe nice and snug, we're ready to pressure test. Okay, got our air compressor with our attachment here, and here is our gauge. Let's see what happens. Huh. We're not getting any pressure because I have an open end in this. We gotta go cap that open end. So we have a hose bib right here that has an open end. It's part of our cold water system. So I'm just gonna get out one of my 1/2" crimp rings to fix this. Last time we did 3/4, this time I'm doing a 1/2" crimp ring, a 1/2" plug. Pull this up over so it's centered in the middle of that fitting there. Center our crimper on the crimp ring and crimp. There we go, capped end.